evening. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Okay, my name is Miss Vicky. What's your name?
Bianca.
Okay, nice to meet you, Bianca. Let me tell you a little bit about what we're gonna do today. Um, you've already signed the consent form. You understand the confidentiality. Um, no one will see this outside of my class because this is a project for graduate school studies. Um, I am counseling you off of a solution focused therapy technique, and during the session, I will take a maybe 10-15 minute break to go consult with my colleague. In that time, you can just relax and get your thoughts together and things like that. Um, so, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about what brought you in today.
Well, I've been having, I guess, sleep anxiety.
Okay.
And racing thoughts, not sleeping well, just with everything that's going on.
Okay. And so how are these problems affecting you? Just sleep?
Well, sleep, and then I have like racing thoughts. Sometimes I can't complete tasks because I get distracted or
Okay. So tell me a little bit about when the times where you have these racing thoughts. What happens right before that trigger the racing thoughts?
sometimes it could probably be, I guess, the feeling of wanting to accomplish something and then not being able to do it, or the timing, and then I have to thinking, and then it just starts to be like just on my mind and no rest from that.
Okay. So what I'm hearing you say is that you're having racing thoughts, anxiety that's keeping you from sleeping at night, and completing assignments or tasks or things like that. Okay, so what have you tried that may have worked?
Sometimes reading, and sometimes just writing, I guess, whatever's bothering me, writing it down. You know? That's pretty much it.
So reading and writing down, will that help you organize your thoughts or just help you calm down?
Yeah, I see it organizing as far as the not completing tasks, but I also feel like it just gives the relief of, okay, if it's something that's a stressor, it'll give me relief.
Okay. So has anything else helped you with your anxiety or racing thoughts or sleep?
Music.
So you enjoy music. Okay. Okay. Sounds like you have tried some things that were able to help you calm down. Where do you think your anxiety stems from, as far as I know it's causing you not to be able to sleep, but where do you think it's coming from?
I guess seeing myself, or sometimes how we plan, like, okay, I want to be here in so many years, and then not being there could kind of be like, okay, well, I thought I would be here by now, but not being in place.
Okay. So in those times, do you see yourself move from one step to another, or do you feel like you're in the same spot?
I guess around that time, I did feel like I was in the same spot, but some things I see gradually changing, but a lot of times I still feel like, okay, I'm in the same place. What do I
So it's good that you recognize, I guess, limited mobility to where you wanted to go. But it is still a good thing that you have came from one point to the next. Um, and it seems like you want to succeed. You know what you want out of life. You have a goal. And so, with that being said, you are you're putting forth a plan in your mind, um, to reach that goal. It's just, you know, the time that it takes to get there. Okay. How else has anxiety or racing thoughts been a problem for you?
I guess probably the racing thoughts part of it, because sometimes I can overthink situations or overanalyze because, or put it into my own, well, this is why this is happening, or just have it to where I'll affect relationships in a negative way too.
So, what would you like to happen?
I guess as far as
Just, if your problems today, which would be anxiety or racing thoughts, could just decrease, or what would you like to see happen?
well, I guess I can't change the time. So I guess just me coming to grips with it myself, as far as like, okay, everybody's pace is different, or just things like that. So really just me.
Okay, so who else would see, if things were to change, who else would see change? Does your racing thoughts affect other people around you? I know you said that sometimes it affects your relationship because you overanalyze things, but anyone else or anything else, or
Maybe family, friends. Probably, yeah, family and friends the most.
And what would they see?
I guess me distracted or not being there, but not really there. If that makes sense.
Anything else? Okay. So I'm gonna ask you a different type of question. Okay. Imagine that you went to sleep tonight, and while you were sleeping, a miracle occurred, and all your problems were solved. You didn't notice that miracle until you woke up the next morning. So when you wake up the next morning, what's the first thing that you can see that tells you that all your problems are solved? See or feel or
maybe
notice?
Good rest.
Good rest. Okay. You'll be well rested. What else?
And I guess with it, the ability to just let go of, I guess, the stressors or anxiety parts of it, and just really being comfortable, I guess, emotionally wise.
And what does comfortable emotionally look like for you?
I guess coming to grips with it's life. and everything that's happening can change a day within a day. Just coming up with your life and just being okay with nothing. Everybody has something.
So, you will wake up fully refreshed, fully rested, and you will be comfortable. Is there anything else that you will notice?
The attitude change, maybe a attitude change.
Okay. And so, what would your family notice about you after that miracle occurred?
I guess me being at peace.
Okay. And what about your friends?
The same, probably.
Okay. Being at peace. Anything else? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, let's see. Are there times where pieces of this miracle have already occurred in the last maybe week or so?
Yeah.
What was going on in you?
Well, an example, and I would use some anxiety could stem from just relationship general. Okay, me being at the age I'm at, wanting to have like just a serious relationship, and me realizing the change of me letting it go. I guess I finally was able to like, okay, I know what I want, and I'm not gonna wait for, I guess, someone to see what I need. So me actually letting go, like, okay, no more.
Okay. So you were able to just let go of, the worries about being in a serious relationship and knowing that it will come when it needs to come, things like that. Okay. Okay. So how did that little piece of that miracle that occurred within the last week, how did that happen? Um, how did you come to a point where you were just able to let it go?
I was tired of, sometimes you get tired of feeling, okay, if I'm not always a downer, and you can get to where you go, okay, I'm not supposed to feel like this. Right. So just get real tired of it. I'm like, okay, this isn't me.
So you were able to let it go because you recognized that it wasn't a feeling that you were used to feeling, which was down, and you being a happy person was like, look, this is not me. I'm gonna let go of what's holding me down and move on. Okay, that takes a lot of courage, and it's good that you can recognize that and do that for yourself. So on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the the least anxious, and 10 being the most anxious, where are you at right now? At this very moment.
I would say probably around 4.
Okay. So 4 is not really that, anxious. You're fine right now. Okay, so what could you do to lower that point by 1 point? How could you, or what would you be able to do to take that point from a 4 to a 3?
I think removing anything that would be like reminders of what's causing my anxiety, things like that. So I guess whether it's delete numbers. Okay, let me do this, so I can't look at the number and think about this. So I would do that.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. How willing are you to move your point from a 4 to a 3? And how willing are you to delete those numbers and get rid of reminders of what's making you anxious?
I guess I'm a little bit more than, or a little less than very willing. Sometimes it gets hard. I'll do it and then get a call and be like answering, but I'm willing in the same sense.
So it's some of those that you can be like, okay, I can delete. No, but there are some that you think twice about. Okay, I understand. Now before we take a break, that break that I was telling you about at the beginning of the session, is there anything else you can think of that may be stressing, or anyone else that may be affected by your stress, or anything, or causing your stress?
Sometimes work will be the only other thing, but then that's like good stress, which is stress is not good anyway, but it's just the goals, the stress of goals.
Okay, so what is good stress?
Just trying to be an overachiever and like just trying to affect my craft, and it'll just make you kind of get it. So that's good stress.
And what is your craft?
I'm a hairstylist.
Okay. So you classify good stress as just wanting to succeed, and that is part of your anxiety because you want to be somewhere in life, imagining that it's with your career or your craft, and you're trying to reach that goal, and then you compare yourself to where you have been or where you want to be, and you're not satisfied with where you are. Okay, so good stress can turn into bad stress, but I'm glad that you are persistent in achieving your goals and things like that. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take that break, and I'm going to go consult with my colleague, and then I'm going to come back and give you a little bit of suggestions, and we're going to come to agreement of what's attainable in your daily life, and what'll start to drop off some of that anxiety. Okay? All right, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay? Thank you. Okay, Miss Bianca, I am back. First I'd like to thank you for coming to counseling. It takes a lot of courage and strength to come to counseling. To recognize you have a concern or issue and ask for help. So that takes a lot of courage. Secondly, I want to thank you for being patient and consult with my colleagues. While I was consulting with my colleagues, I did write down some things to help me organize my thoughts so that I could give you effective feedback that will help you achieve your goals. So while we were discussing, I was able to gather some things that can help you come to a conclusion about your concern. So if you don't mind, I'll just read some things, and as just my little points, and as I continue, I'll just flow. So while we were talking, we really noticed that you were driven, and you really seem to have your priorities in order. And although everything else may seem like it's stressing you out, you have clear goals. You want a steady relationship or a marriage, and you want to be at a point in your career where you're comfortable in perfecting your craft. You also stated that you need to have a good attitude, a better attitude. Um, so what I would suggest is a couple of things for you as you continue to just pay attention to every time that you're not feeling anxious. Um, like throughout the day, if you're feeling happy, take a moment and look around and see uh, who you're around, what you're doing, and since you already like to write, go ahead and write those things down. Do you have a journal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So go ahead and write those moments down so that next session we can go ahead and observe those things together and discuss them together so that we can start to see what type of patterns are good for you to eliminate your stress and everything. Also, I would like for you to go ahead and take that step in deleting those numbers that we talked about earlier in the session. And while you're doing that, think of the time when you did achieve a piece of your miracle and you were just tired of settling. And you were able to be okay with that and be okay with not being where you wanted to be. Use that same strength that you applied in that situation to push yourself to completing those situations that you stated earlier that would be beneficial to your situation or achieving your miracle. Mm-hmm. How do you honestly feel about those suggestions that I made to you?
I guess the journaling I did slack up on that. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I can be more consistent with it and really paying attention to what really would have me comfortable or just at peace. Mm-hmm. More focused on that one. The numbers, that may be kind of hard, but I would give it a try.
Okay. So what's hard about it?
Well, because sometimes I feel like you can be at a place or timing can be bad, for just both parties. And then I think sometimes I feel like, well, maybe they got it now. Maybe they got it.
Okay. So it's like the second chances and you want to see if they are worth a second chance. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else that might be holding you back from achieving or deleting those numbers?
And I would say possibly the fear of being alone.
Okay. 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 So, how willing are you to put that aside and do things like you stated that you needed to do, that you got up on your own, and stated, you know what, like this is something I really need to do. Not necessarily all the ones that may deserve a second chance, but the other ones, they're two different types. How willing are you to say, okay, I'm tired,
and just really walk away? I think if I could really focus and like not necessarily give in, but just really focus on me and what I'm trying to obtain, that I won't get distracted on the what. Right. So if I can stay just focused.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So how willing are you, or how committed are you to go ahead and do your journey, go ahead and delete those numbers that you that are stressing you out?
I would say maybe 85% committed. because I'm sure there will be slip-ups. But my goal is to make a conscious effort to just keep moving forward.
Okay, so I believe that we've reached some suggestions that are doable for attainable the goals that we've set for the next session. And then go ahead and just bring your journal to the next session, wherever you write down those moments, so that we can go through them together and try to identify the things that are actually positive and continue to go on. And as far as the numbers, you're committing to me. Do I need to have you sign something? Because it's ultimately, this is your concern. And so, in order for you to achieve a solution or achieve or attain your goal that you set, which is to eliminate your stress and your anxiety, we need 100% from you, and I'm going to always give 100% to you so that you can achieve your goal. So, we're making a commitment today to go ahead and try to take those steps to delete some of those numbers that are stressing you out or reoccurring stresses, so that you can move further in attaining your miracle. Okay, so we're making that commitment. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you next session, and bring your journal. Okay, thank you, Ms. Bianca.